So I've been watching Miraculous Ladybug lately, and with the new season coming out, I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I decided to see what other creators are saying about this little show, and oh boy, is it bad. There's a lot of hate. The worst part, this hate is coming from actual fans of the show, not some random people. A lot of people feel like Miraculous has a ton of wasted potential. And honestly, they're not wrong. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be. The biggest complaint I've seen so far are these. 1. Gabriel is a smooth-brained dumbass. I don't agree with this one at all. He is made into a smooth-brained dumbass because he has to create like a monster of the week. That's on the show, not on him. When the plan is a plan, he does a good job. Marinette is a stalker. A little bit. Yeah, what can I say? A little bit. I admit it. She works through it, but it is what it is. Cat Noir is constantly sidelined. Yes, he is. What can you do? I love him, my favorite character, but what can you do? It is what it is. Chloe was done dirty. And yeah, yes and no. I'll talk about it more in the next part of the video. Now, I don't have the time or the desire to go through all the complaints, and I don't even agree with most of them. See, I just caught up with the show, so my experience is different from people who grew up with it. My perspective on certain things is unique or just slightly different, especially when it comes to Chloe and everything she goes through. I've seen fans of Chloe defend her to the end. And arguing that her redemption arc was ruined. On the other hand, some fans hate her just to spite people. As for me, honestly, I kind of feel sorry for her. Before I even started watching the show, I was familiar with two things. 1, the love square. Adrian, Marinette, Ladybug, Cat Noir, all of that was familiar to me because of how much of a meme it is surrounding the show. You have to be fair, it is what it is. And the second one, the fact that Chloe's redemption arc got ruined. I heard that from multiple YouTube creators, Reddit posts, memes, whatever. It's something that I just, caught while getting familiar with the show. So I went into the show with some expectations, but not knowing exactly what to expect. And honestly, for the most part of the earlier seasons, I didn't really care for Chloe. She seemed like a classical bully, nothing special really. But we do see her trying to do better and, making some baby steps. I will admit that. There is that. The moment that made me think, oh, not bad, she might become a cool character, was when she resisted acclimatization all by herself. I thought that was really cool, and it was really cool that her pride in herself as a hero was stronger than her anger at that moment, and that she was able to tell Hawkmoth to fuck off. Nothing but respect for that. That was the first time I've seen a character do that in the show, and I was genuinely impressed. But here's the thing, that scene might have been a bit too cool for her because it was the last time she did anything noteworthy. From that point on, her downfall began. I know that a lot of people were unhappy when she joined the villain side at the end of the season 3. But I kind of completely understood her decision. It made sense to me, honestly. She wanted to be a hero and help people, but she was constantly denied that opportunity. Meanwhile, she kept seeing Ladybug introduce new heroes all the time. She felt personally offended by that. It's not something that she should feel, but she did feel like that. We have to acknowledge that. And that would drive a lot of people crazy, especially someone like Chloe. So, she gets the brilliant idea to join the dark side. Except, it's not even her idea. She's manipulated into it. And you might think, well, at least she'll become like a big villain or something. But no, not really. The show tries to portray her as a major threat, but after season 3 finale, I never really saw her as a threat to anyone. The biggest reason for that is that she's just bad as a villain. Straight up. Don't get me wrong, she's great at creating villain by getting people akumatized. She does that job as class. But as a villain herself, what does she even want? I never quite understood her motives. To be popular? She's already rich. She could probably achieve that without being akumatized. I know she's kind of a love rival for Marinette, but not really. Adrian didn't think of her romantically at all, and whenever she tries to do something about it, she just comes off as cringe. It's gotten to the point where even she gave up on Adrian. So, what are her goals? To piss people off? What kind of character has no ambitions, like at all? And since she has no real ambitions, the creator just used her as a tool for more competent villains to do their job, to carry out their plans. Lila and Gabriel have used and abused Chloe more than anyone else. She's the easiest character to manipulate in the entire show. So easy, in fact, even Zoe does it. If you know a few key pieces of information, you can basically make her do anything. Lila and Gabriel take full advantage of this. Even when we look at the worst thing Chloe does, like in season 3 finale or near the end of season 5, she was in full puppet mode. All her actions were controlled by a far more competent villain. Especially in season 5, she was listening to everything Lila told her. She couldn't even speak unless Lila told her what to say. From the very beginning of that plot to the end, Chloe was just her puppet. And I bet she thought she was like on the same level as Lila or something, or even better than her, when in reality Lila didn't give two fucks about her. It's sad and a bit depressing, especially when you see how it all ends. Lila just moves on to another school, while Chloe ends up all alone. No friends, crying by herself on a plane, with a mother that doesn't care about her. Great job, Thomas. You really show this fictional character what's up. I'm not even gonna go into all that Thomas hates Chloe or whatever. People know about that. If you don't know about that, Google it. It's a fun read. Now, if Chloe were a competent villain, I wouldn't even be mad. She doesn't have to become a good person or get her redemption arc. I just wish more was done with her character. But instead, she gets dumber and dumber, down to ridiculous levels. I mean, she was never the sharpest tool in the shed, but at the start of the show, she at least had some brain activity. At this point, I'm not even sure she can read or write properly, especially since Sabrina has been doing all her homework forever. And you might be thinking, so what? She's rich, she doesn't need to be smart. But that's a stupid argument because we have examples of rich kids with brains. In Adrian, Kagami, Felix, the show clearly portrays how important it is for young heirs to be smart, or at least well educated. So, how is Chloe different? She is an heir to a massive fortune. What are her parents doing? Just letting her get dumber and dumber? The neglect is a form of abuse no matter what the creator of the show says. The worst part is that we keep seeing her cry. We keep seeing that she has remorse. Yet the writers don't do anything with that. They just keep making her suffer. That's not a fun character to experience. Okay, we hate her. Then, why do we keep seeing her cry over things that she did? Make her evil. It's cool. I have no problems with her being a villain, but please, for the love of God, make her a competent one. Not a puppet for Leela to play with and discard whenever she feels like it. That's all. I hope that in the next season we see Chloe make some improvements, any kind of progress, whether it's become a better person, become a worse person, it is what it is. Just, change her a little bit in any way, please. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Peace.